Hello, hello, and welcome back to Come Hang Out. I'm Jake from Come Hang Out, and today we're going to be playing some Goblins on the Timeless Ladder. The commentary is done in post, and this will be a series of games that we are commenting over. Ah, excellent. We seem to have found a match. Oh, that's the Lord of the Rings dude. Aragorn, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, we keep a very iffy hand. I don't think we mulliganed this. I think we actually do keep this, even though we should have mulliganed it. The thing is, like, I don't know. The deck is on 19 lands. They're gonna Mishra's Bauble and Fabled Passage, turn one. Very solid opening. Bauble is just. It doesn't read that well. Like, it doesn't seem nuts on on paper, but it plays very well. Like it puts in. Well, I don't want to say it puts in work, but like it gives you information and it gives you another card, right? For 0. And that 0 is sometimes relevant for storm decks, but yeah, it's just a good card. It's an artifact, so it synergizes with like a shit zillion things. But yeah, they're on blue-black. Usually when I see blue-black and Bauble, they're on the One Ring and or Shieldred. Well, not and/or. They're on the One Ring and Shieldred, because they always run those two cards, together. Because why wouldn't you? I don't think we end up seeing a Shieldred this game, but we do end up seeing the One Ring. Orcish Bowmasters comes down and pings the shit out of our little goblin. Very, very smart on their part. You should always remove the goblins as they come out, because if you accumulate any sort of a board, you're always either in the danger zone or right about to get in the danger zone, because goblins can just like go from like 0 to 100 out of the fucking blue, man, like out of nowhere. They just turn on and they put in work. They're gonna play the One Ring at some point soon. We get another land, which is very nice. We opt to play the Ringleader because we don't want our War Chief being countered. So we're going to play this to test the waters, force a counter spell if they have it, because this is still a counterable, like a counter-worthy target for them, because they don't want me getting card advantage, or potential card advantage, I should say. And they do have the Archmage Charm, which they absolutely, at least should have played on the War Chief. I assume that they would have, because War Chief is just such an enabler for this deck. But yeah, we swing in with Krenko, we make the 2 tokens off the Krenko's ability, and we assume that they're gonna just block it, which they totally do, and they follow it up with a devastating Fatal Push. Fatal Push, as always, putting in that work, because once their thing hit the yard, it made Fatal Push live to hit like 4 CMC thing, 4 or less, as opposed to 2 or less. So we're stuck with 2 Goblin tokens. They jam out a Deathrite Shaman. They pass turn to us. I don't remember what I do. I decided to just play the War Chief. We figured that they're not gonna be on. Surely they wouldn't have the second Archmage Charm, right? Right? I do believe it gets through. I don't think they end up countering this. Well, no. My opponent decided to make a liar out of me. They absolutely counter that with a Drown in the Lock. I was not expecting Drown in the Lock, for sure. Does not seem like that deck to play that, but here comes the Ring. Now, it's worth noting that they have protection on my next turn. Protection from, like, me. Like, they can't be interacted with or something. Like, I can't deal damage to them, at least. Now, I take note of this in my head. I'm like, oh, they have the protection. But then I'm like, oh, we just got a land, and their shields are down. We could play Muxus. Flip it. We'll get some haste enablers so we could swing in and beat face. Literally right after thinking to ourselves, oh, they have the One Ring, and that's, like, they're not going to take any damage. But, we attacked anyway. Because, you know, what's the meme? How does the meme go? It's about sending a message. It's totally not because it slipped my mind the second after I drew the land and got excited that I could cast Muxas. Like, that's not what happened at all. I decided to do it to send a message. That being said, the war boss would have generated a token that needed to attack anyway, so it's like, whatever. I figure that with this board state, I should be in pretty good shape. Yeah, they could maybe draw a Shield Red and maybe start to like stabilize with the ring and, you know, like comboing with that, or synergizing with that, I should say. Because it is more of a synergy than like a combo. Like when the word combo gets thrown around, I assume like game ending on the spot shenanigans, like a loop to be demonstrated to end the game, or that means the end of the game. Whereas synergies is just like things synergizing with each other, just working well with one another. But yeah, they're gonna Bowmaster our Horde Master. The Horde Master will flip a Prospector, which is pretty cool. We do like our Prospectors. We already have one. But it's still nice to see a backup potentially, and we're not actually gonna play it. Not yet anyway. We're gonna play it now. Pretty sure, yeah. Pashulik is like, yeah, that's like, Pashulik with Prospector is like basically game over at this point, especially after an attack, like with Pash pinging for every creature I control that dies. And of course the Prospector being a sack outlet for goblins, and so you sack the goblins and you start pinging after like a brutal combat step. And that would have been game. So they just scoop on spot, which is respectable. To not waste my time. The more time, play more games, get more games in. Yeah. The language is hard. Leave me alone. Please don't bully me in the comments. We wouldn't want that. Sorry. Next game, up against, does that say Empath? Is that the name? It's hard to see with the preview window in our editing software sometimes. But yeah. We keep this hand. We keep the shit out of this hand. Now, it's not really a snap keep, but we see 3 lands immediately, and we have 2 1-drops. So by the time we can play our Ringleader, we'll probably have the mana for it. We also see a Krenko Tin Street Kingpin? Is that the name of that one? Not the mob boss. But we open the other Krenko too, which will come into play a little bit later. But we have the mana for the Krenko, which is real good. But in any case, this seems to be a mono-red deck, like red deck wins type of thing, against Goblins, which is always a very interesting matchup when 2 aggro decks go face-to-face. Goblins, at its core, is like an aggro beatdown strategy, but with the addition of like Pashulik, or Pashulik, however you pronounce that big dumb idiot, combined with the Prospector, it makes it, you can put your opponent in very dicey positions, even if you're not beating face. But yeah, they play an Eidolon of the Great Revel, I think it's called, the one that burns for 2 damage every time you play something with 3 or less. That goes for either player playing something with 3 or less, by the way. That player gets burnt for 2. They get zippity zapped, they get shiggity shocked. But yeah, their Kumano Kakazan thingy flips. They swing in for, I believe, 3, and we let it through because we like to play fast and loose with our life total. If you haven't noticed, we let a lot of damage through most of the time. And I won't say whether or not it bites me in the ass, but it may or may not bite me in the ass. Who knows? But they're going to take 2 off of their own Skewer the Critics, which is very nice because as they damage themselves, like they're putting themselves in danger too. Because Goblins, again, is just a very scary deck. Now, normally, I'm not the kind of person to jam out a Krenko without a haste enabler on board. But we decided to jam one out anyway, and then attack with our Denizen, which was a mistake. Like, that, I should not have made that attack. I wanted to see how they would react, though. And they just took it, which ends up turning, like that. That's the best case scenario for us, because now we have an additional body on board. They could have traded or blocked it or something. Yeah. We get 3'd in the air, and they bobble us. But it looks like Krenko might be online for next turn. They don't play a removal spell yet. And at this point, we can tap it in response if they do have one. Now, I'm going to jam out... Was it the Horde Master or the Ringleader? No, yeah, it's the Ringleader, I think. Yeah, because we want to see some more cards in hand. Now, this is another Goblin on board, so now Krenko will generate 3 bodies. They're going to target it with a Searing Blood, not the Krenko, the Ringleader. And now, in response to that, just so we don't lose a potential body, we will absolutely generate the 3 bodies now. Krenko Mob Boss, by the way, is just such a backbreaking card. Like, there's so much synergies with the Goblin deck, which is why I love it. It's like synergy beatdown, because like they all synergize so well with each other as they beat in or prepare to beat in. In any case, we will play our Hobgoblin Bandit Lord, and we will sacrifice. No, we actually will not. We will pass turn, I'm pretty sure. No, oh, are we gonna jam out Muxus here? I don't remember this, actually. We're just jamming. we're gonna live on the edge, baby, because that flying is gonna kill us real quick. The Hobgoblin Bandit Lord would have brought us down to, I think 6 from this point, which is just 2 more attacks with that thing. And if they attack with their full board, they could potentially like wipe us out. So we just decided to go all in with Muxus, see what we flip over. And it turns out we flip over pretty well. We have 2 haste enablers in the form of Goblin Chieftains that came out. But the Chieftains is actually a nice flip in this case because they'll also pump our team. Even though Warlord is preferable in most scenarios. But our dudes get pumped and haste. Matrons come down, we get to we get to tutor up 2 more Goblins. We get a Ringleader, and I forgot what the other one was. Probably Pash. I think it was Pash, right? Pashalik. In any case, we're gonna swing in, see what happens. Yeah, like, they'll have to block, otherwise they lose. And, yeah. Oh, they're just dead anyway. They give us the GG. They have to block, otherwise they'll lose. But no, that's what I mean by like goblins going from 0 to 100, by the way. That was off of a single Muxus after sacrificing our board to cast it. Like, Muxus is such bullshit, man. It's such a dumb card, but I love it to pieces. That was a pretty close game, though. If I didn't play the Muxus there, I felt like we would have been raced out. Like, or out-raced, whatever the term you want to say. Whatever you want to call it, but yeah. Another game. I don't remember what this matchup was, to be honest, but we opened Prospector Chieftain, which is pretty cool, and we have the mana to cast the Chieftain to hard cast it. And the Prospector is always nice. It's pretty much a removal magnet, like, to be honest, especially with Bowmasters in the format. Like, there's Bowmasters answers our Prospectors, our Horde Master. What else is an answer? The Foundry Street Denizen. And it makes combat tricky too, because you flash it in, you ping something, and then you could double block on top, or potentially double block on top. So like, you always have to fear and respect the Bowmasters in this format, for sure. That said, I do believe they will. What do they do here? Do they Bowmaster? That would be pretty funny if they Bowmasters us. I don't think they do. No, they're gonna Thoughtseize us, right? Or like they play some discard spell. They look at my hand and they force me to pitch something here. Yeah, something with 2 or less, which actually whiffs. So that was that's a nice turn 1 for us from them. Very interesting that they're playing this. I was going to say over the Thoughtseize, but I think they do reveal a Thoughtseize at some point. Maybe? I don't remember. I will be honest, these games happened at a point long before when I'm recording now. And when I say long before, I mean like a couple hours. We have the memory of a goldfish. Yeah. In case we jam in for 1, they're going to play Valky, which is a card. I guess they're in like some sort of hand attack deck, right? I would say discard, but Valky is not quite discard. It steals from hand, and then you could maybe cast it or something. I don't know what that card does. It has way too much text. I know it's going to look and rip something out of my hand. It's going to look at and rip. They probably choose... I think they choose the War Boss here, which is a respectable choice. I think the Chieftain should have been prioritized, as it's not only a Lord, but the important thing with Goblins is you want to get haste into play real fast. It wouldn't have mattered because we did draw the War Chief, which we end up jamming out. I was thinking about playing the Chieftain over the War Chief, and swinging in with Prospector, but that's not even a trade I really want to make. I'd rather have Prospector on board with the War Chief, and if they don't have an answer to this, then things will get out of hand for them real quick. Real fast, or potentially speaking. But yeah, what do they do here? If I were them, I would... Okay, they play a Cemetery Gatekeeper, I think it's called. It exiles something from the graveyard, and whenever someone casts something, a spell of that type, or plays a land, if a land is exiled with it, they get shocked, I think? Or one or 2 damage. They get punished somehow. It's a cool card. I've played with it a few times. Never performs as well as I want it to, truthfully. Let's see if it does better for them than it does for me. But yeah, we're going to play a Chieftain. We jam out that Chieftain like it's no one's business. And we probably... What do we do? Do we attack here? I don't think we attack here. Yeah, no, we absolutely do not attack there. I agree with my play that I forgot that I did. Anyway, they play another land. Lands are cool. Lands let you play things, and they're going to play something here. It's that 3/3 that's about to come down. That does something with exiling from the graveyard and draining life. I don't remember how exactly this card worked, but it's pretty cool. It's a pretty solid card. It establishes the day-night cycle as well, which can be relevant for that specific card anyway. I don't know if they're on other day-night synergy. I do kind of like the day-night cycle synergy thing. I think there's more room to play with in its design space. If that makes sense. I think they can like explore that space a bit more. But I think they did a fun job when they brought it back. Like I mean, it wasn't the day-night cycle exactly. It was like the werewolf flipping thing, but they made it day-night or something. I don't remember. It's been a long time since original Innistrad. I don't remember how it worked exactly. Yeah. We're gonna jam out a Muxus here though, because big daddy Muxus me likey the Mux, Turbo Mux. You will see us like flounder and misplay from this point forward. I'm not gonna lie. Like playing this is questionable, right? I don't need to play this, but I decide to, because I figured Pash is very scary with Prospector, and they're still at a very high life total. But the synergy between Pash and Prospector is real strong. And we decided to attack with all the things, except the Prospector. Which is not the best attack, but it forces the block against the Muxus. I believe they'll block it with the 3/3. But yeah, this game could have been ended within the next, like, turn or two if I played it, like, better. And I do play Goblins pretty well most of the time. I don't know why, like, my brain just farted. It just kept on farting. Just non-stop farts from my brain, man. Like, goddamn. You'll see what I mean in a few minutes. But yeah, they choose to block Big Daddy Mux, Big Muxus. Or no, they don't? What do they not... Do they not block Muxus? I don't remember. It looks like... No, Muxus is being blocked. Never mind. But they take some damage here. Pash will ping them for 1, I think. Now, I could have targeted the cemetery thingy, but I didn't feel the need to at this point. We're still at 20. We have a board. And if they do somehow wipe the board, we get to ping a shit zillion times. This is where we start doing questionable things. Like, we didn't need to do that to sack the Prospector for a Prospector. We just want an additional ping. We're thinking about playing the Matron. I think we decide against it, though. Ultimately, yeah. Please cancel. Please don't play the Matron. What are you doing? What are you doing? No, don't do it. No! Why would you do this? Me? What are you thinking? What were you thinking? But yeah, we get rid of our Haste Enabler / Lord. I think we still have a War Chief in play. And my idea was to get another Muxus, right? I think that's what we end up taking. But that's stupid, because they already revealed that they're on hand attack. So we just, like, kind of sacrificed a very advantageous board state to play something dumb and flashy. Now, will they be able to discard our Muxus before we can play it? I won't spoil, but they could potentially, because they revealed that they were on hand attack. But yeah, anyway. I am absolutely shocked, staggered to my core, to see the Bloodbraid Elf come down, because that's such a cool card. Such a nice, powerful, respectable card. And they get some sort of removal thingy off of it, and I think they remove probably our War Chief here. If they don't, they should have. Or the Pash. The Pash is also a valid target. But, you know, they get rid of our War Chief. Turns out Pash would have been the better thing to remove. I won't say how or why exactly, but I if I were I them, were I they, I would have chosen Pash, just because the life total is getting real dicey here, and they know that Muxus is in hand. We actually choose not to play the Muxus for some stupid reason. Like, we could have, right? Like, but we wanted to have, like, more on board for, like, I don't know. Like I said, brain fart, lots and lots of gas being expelled from my, my wrinkle-free brain, my smooth brain. I'm a basic bitch. I like my goblins. Goblin brain. Goblin math is sometimes a little too difficult for me, apparently, and we make questionable attacks, and I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking. Sorry, pardon the language, not that we don't swear here on this channel, like, all the time, but yeah, for some reason, I try at the very least to be a bit more, like, a bit cleaner, language-wise, during the arena stuff. For some reason, I don't know what the mentality behind that is. But yeah, we're gonna sack our entire board to play a Siege Gang Commander. Yeah, we do that. We do that, folks. Was this the right play? Probably not. Probably not. But we do it anyway because it's funny, and we're gonna get a bunch of pings. That's why we did it, because we will see a bunch of pings, and then with the Siege Gang on board, if that's not answered, it will, like, kill them dead if they don't answer it, like as said. It's going to generate some bodies, and for 2 mana, we can fling goblins to shock, basically, with the Siege Gang Commander. Now, here is where I believe they will play their hand rip to rip out the Muxus. We would have played Muxus, by the way, but I don't think we had the mana. I think we only had 5 bodies on board with the Prospector, and now I don't think we have enough to hardcast it. So they play a really cool card, Huntmaster of the Fells. Fortunately for us, Siege Gang Commander does answer that. We could have probably Muxus there, maybe? I didn't see if we were able to Muxus or not, but we decided to fling a goblin at the Huntmaster. I feel like I'm unintentionally bad mannersing my opponent here, because, like, I could have played that very differently and won way fucking sooner. And I won't even say if I win this match. I could absolutely be punished for my 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 poor goblineering. But but yeah, we're gonna fling the flingy the dingy. Oh my god! It just occurred to me. Is Goblin Bombardment in the game now? Oh no. Oh, please let it be so. Because I think in the latest Eldraine thing, the Siege Gang Commander got me thinking of times where I played Goblins in paper and I ran a copy of Goblin Bombardment because it's just it's just so hilarious. Trying to stifle my language. I almost swore again. Can't be doing that. This is a family-friendly channel. It's really not. Don't watch this channel, kids. We're naughty individuals here and come hang out a lot of the time. But yeah, we play Ringleader. C2 goblins, add them to hand. We attack. I figure that they will die here, and I'm not gonna say if they do, because if they do block, we get to fling, you know, in response to the block, whatever they end up blocking. So if they make the right choice here as to what to block, and if they have a response to stop a second attacker, they can survive this. And in fact, that's what they do. They choose the right block target, and turns out they have probably a fatal push or something. I don't remember what they played, but they get rid of my my Ringleader as well. We're not fearful here. Yeah, no, they fatal pushed my token, which confused me. Why would you fatal push the token there? We're both making misplays here. I guess because they have the Gatekeeper, they don't need to fear the 2/2 coming at them, because that won't even trade. That'll just kill my thing. Now they're at 1 here, right? I have a Hobgoblin Bandit Lord and a Pashulik in hand. All I need to do is play the Pash and swing in. That's all I need to do to win. But no, we're gonna be stupid and also play the Bandit Lord. And probably the Denizen. No, just the Bandit Lord. Now, this is stupid because it pumps my team, and now my thing won't die, so I can't ping them. For one. Not on this turn, anyway. Now, it doesn't really matter if they can't answer the Pash, or even if they can't answer the Pash, they still die unless they can gain life. But I could have ended this. I could have blocked this too to end the game. I don't know why I didn't block and ping them. Talk about like unintentionally bad mannersing, like I keep saying. But yeah, they end up playing a creature which ends up zapping them from their Cemetery Gatekeeper, so they take themselves out, which is pretty funny. But yeah, that talk about like choke after choke, misplay after misplay. We still ended up taking it because that's just how goblins roll. But yeah, anyway. In any case, I have been Jake from Come Hang Out. This has been some sort of arena laddering thing, and a post-production commentary version of that laddering format. If you liked this content, please consider giving a like, comment, and or subscribe. It goes a long way in helping the channel out. And, yeah, have a wonderful day, folks.